All right, so boom, check it out. So we got some homemade Nashville hot air fryer wings, and they're gonna come out crispier than when they come out the grease. But let me show you how we did it. Okay, so first order of business, what you're gonna need is about 2 to 3 pounds of some chicken wings cut into chicken wing parts. So you need your drumettes, you need your flats. Cut off the tip unless you want that for the aesthetic. All right, so to make sure that the skin gets nice and crispy, what you're gonna do is pat it dry first, and then instead of flour, this is our life hack right here. Okay, this is the kitchen hack. Hey, don't tell nobody I told you this, but what we're gonna do is get potato starch. You can do about a cup or more, depending on how many people you're feeding or how many wings you're gonna be doing. All right, and essentially with the potato starch, you're just gonna go ahead and pour it on over, just like you seasoning up some chicken, just like regular. Now, as for me, I don't really use measurement cups and everything like that, so therefore that's why we have a slight little mess, but that's all right. We're gonna keep on moving. Now, also, if you didn't know, now you're about to know. Baking powder, when paired with cornstarch, listen, you're going to get that crispy crunch, you know what I mean? I was trying to simulate it, but yeah, you're going to get that crispy crunch. Like, you know, when you take Popeyes fresh out the box and everything like that. Yeah, you're going to hear it from across the room type vibes, you know what I mean? So we're going to do about 2 to 3 tablespoons of that. Really, what you want to do as a good rule of thumb is you're going to do a tablespoon per pound of chicken wings. That's all you do. Now, me, I'm freestyling just because, I've been doing this for a minute. But, you know, if you need measurements, do that then. And then we'll move over to our spices next. First order of business, what you're going to get is a smokehouse rub seasoning. This is what I'm using, at least, because I want my wings to be nice and smoky to pair well with the Nashville hot seasoning that we're going to make, or the Nashville hot sauce that we're going to make. All right, so you're going to do about a tablespoon or 2 of that smokehouse rub seasoning. It doesn't have to be specifically Belay and Bell, which I'll go ahead and tag my friend Sarah. She has an amazing spice line. All right, next what we're going to get is some paprika, smoked paprika, that is. If you've been following me, then you know what time it is when it comes to smoked paprika. Like, go ahead and spend that extra $2 and thank me later. All right, so about 2 tablespoons of that. Yeah, you feel me? And next, what we're going to do is grab some Nashville hot seasoning. We're going to take a shortcut with this. All right. So it doesn't have to be specifically this brand. Kroger has a dope brand of Nashville hot. If you don't have Kroger, I'm sure your local grocery store has something similar to this. All right. So what you're going to do is, depending on whatever level of spice you want in there in terms of kick, that's how much you put in there. So I did about 2 tablespoons just because I like a little kick to it, you know what I'm talking about? Then next we're gonna get some garlic powder, because garlic powder is like the holy trinity of seasoning your food, right? You got garlic powder, you got onion powder, and you know, of course there's other things, but anyway, so we're gonna do about 1 to 2 tablespoons of this. You're starting to catch on where I'm going with this, right? Next up, we're gonna grab some garlic pepper. Now, with the garlic pepper that I got here, it's from H-E-B, which is a grocery store, which you find in Houston, Austin. There's other places in Texas, but typical garlic pepper actually contains salt in it. So with this, make sure that you don't go too crazy on that, all right? Because overly salted food is not a vibe anywhere, any place, anytime. Like, just don't do it. People are going to be talking trash about you. Anyway, so we're going to do a couple of shakes or turns, whatever. Crank it up a little bit. All right, so we're going to do about a tablespoon and a half, or season it up to your liking, however much salt you like in your food. Next, all right, so you're going to go ahead and get your hands a little bit messy on this, and we're going to massage that chicken. I seen y'all in the comments on Instagram. Y'all nasty. But anyway, so yeah, literally what you're going to do, you want to make sure that all of these pieces of chicken are evenly coated with the seasonings and our baking powder and potato starch, because you want to make sure that there's just even flavor distribution. Once this part is finished, then we'll be able to move on over to putting our wings in the air fryer to cook. All right, moving right along. All right, so the hard part is done with seasoning everything on up, making sure everything's coated. All right, so I don't know how old everybody is, but if you're old enough to remember the game Tetris, by the way, my birthday is on March the 30th. So yeah, I'll be 28. But anyway, y'all, look, so if you're old enough to remember the game Tetris, essentially what you do is you are taking blocks and fitting them into a puzzle. So with these wings, I want you to think of it the same way. Pretty much you fitting as many wings into this air fryer basket as possible without stacking them on top of each other and them getting in the way, because you want to make sure that this cooks, like each piece cooks evenly. All right, so once we fill that air fryer basket on up, What we're going to then do is cook our wings at 400 degrees, depending on your air fryer, for about 10 to 12 minutes each side. And then watch how it come out. But anyway, after we finish putting that in the air fryer, then we're going to move over to our sauce. And here we go. So let's go ahead and get into this sauce. So we're going to get a full stick of butter. Go ahead and just drop that into a preheated skillet. So right now the skillet is on medium heat. We're going to let that do its thing, melt on down. All right. All right. So we're making the sauce. So we have our butter in the pan already, right? So that's liquid smoke, as you see. You can get hickory. You can get whatever flavor you want. So liquid smoke, go ahead and just do a little dab of that. So do your thing with that. I would say about a tablespoon. Start there. Then we'll get some brown sugar. That's 3 tablespoons of some brown sugar. That'll help balance out some of that sweetness, but sweet and smoky go so nice together. Like, oh my God, that is a deadly, deadly, deadly combination. And then next up, we're going to get our Nashville hot, because that's the star of the show for today. So the Nashville hot, do about 2 tablespoons of that, as you see, just like that. All right, perfect. Then moving on. It's moving kind of quick. Just keep up with me. So we got smoked paprika. If you don't already know how I feel about smoked paprika, I'm going to remind you again. Smoked paprika, you get, of course, smoky flavor, which is going to pair well with the liquid smoke. And then also, next, we're going to go ahead and add some more of that smokehouse rub. So pretty much everything that we use to season up our chicken wings is essentially what we're going to use in this sauce, except we're using butter this time. All right. So once you have enough of that in there, then we're going to move over to our old faithful garlic powder. You just got to put some in your dish. All right. There's no extra salt with it, but it adds hella flavor. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and whisk everything together, and we're just going to let this boil. Okay. So once it gets to a boil, then we're going to reduce the heat down from medium to low. Then we're just going to let that simmer. And then once the sauce starts to thicken up, our wings should be just about done at this point. All right. And then the final. I don't know. I hope y'all ready for it. Oh, and see, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. So we get our minced garlic. So you're going to do 2 teaspoons of that. All right. Add that straight on into the sauce. Give it a few more whisks and everything like that. And then we're going to let the simmer continue on. All right, so as that sauce finishes up, look, we're just going to do a chicken appreciation real quick. Look at those wings. Oh, my God. Like, literally, they look like they just came out the grease. You don't have that extra cleanup. Your house don't smell like grease. You don't have extra batter to clean up. It's just beautiful. Your waistline will thank you for it and all of that. All right, so you just simply dump your wings into a basket just like that, or a bowl, whatever floats your boat. Okay, since I cooked 2 batches, we're going to go ahead and toss them in. And then we'll go ahead and get our sauce off of our burner. Get ready to toss that joint around. Maybe it's just me, but it's something that's so sexy about like the sauce or the liquid just pouring over the wings and everything. You just see it flowing out of this pot, skillet, whatever. And then look, so once we got all our stuff out, then we'll move on. Get these a little bit tossed, and then we'll plate them up and we'll be ready. And add you a little bit of parsley on top of it just to make it look all nice and pretty and everything like that. All right. And then from there, if you want to get you some ranch, get you some ranch. If not, plate it up just like that and enjoy. I'll catch you on the next recipe. And I know I said March 30th for the cookbook, but look, check this out. Due to popular demand, I'm going to get the cookbook out this Saturday on the 27th. It's called Food is My Love Language, 30 recipes. It'll be available on Amazon for physical copy and an ebook on my website. The links will be in my bio.